It's time to find out what's cooking. Here now is the head chef of the Pemberton Township High School Food Service Program and your host, Tim Paroli.
Hello again, and welcome to What's Cooking. I'm Tim Paroli. Today, backed by popular demand, our guest chef, Guy Mitchell, is going to prepare some dishes for us. And I'd like to introduce Guy to the new viewers and to those of you at home who have never met Chef Mitchell. This is Chef Guy. Welcome.
Thank you, Timmy.
It's nice to have you back again.
Thank you.
Last time Chef Mitchell was here, he prepared some dishes for us that were very popular menu items, and we asked him to come back, and he did, and we're very grateful for that. And today he's going to prepare a classical sauteed dish that is very easy for you at home to make, and it's very nice to impress company. It's also rather inexpensive. When you total everything up, it's not too bad.
Very, very cheap.
You're going to show us a fancy dessert.
Yep.
And a nice vegetable to go with it. So we've got a chock-full show here to get you going. And our first menu is going to be a Rockafeller dish. Now, Rockafeller is a classical combination of ingredients, and today we're going to show you a sauteed flounder Rockafeller style. And to make this, what you need are flounder fillets, and Chef Guy's going to get these things ready as I show you what we have. Some spinach. We're using fresh cello bagged spinach, mushrooms, some onions, cheddar cheese. You'll need eggs, flour, nutmeg, salt, and pepper. And what we're going to do with that, since I've already let you know this is a sauteed item, there's going to be a little difference in how we prepare the fish. We're going to flour and egg dip the flounder fillets. Then we're going to brown them on both sides, and in another saute pan, we're going to saute the onion, mushroom, and spinach. And that's all going to be put on top of the flounder fillets, covered with cheddar, and then we're going to cover it, melt it, and enjoy the daylights out of that. So, again, this is a classical dish that you at home can make, and we're going to start off.
Well, the first thing we'll do is we'll get our pan hot.
Okay, I can handle that much.
Okay, that'll get hot. And then we'll start by sauteing some of the spinach. Approximately here 1 handful of fresh spinach. And we're just going to chop that up a little bit, make it a little bit smaller. And we'll take about 1/4 of a large onion. We'll chop that down like this, and it doesn't have to be real fine. And then we'll take some mushrooms and we'll slice them down like this. I'd say approximately 4 mushrooms are fine.
And this menu that you're preparing today is going to be for 2 people.
Yeah, we'll do 2 flounders.
Okay.
And you can do it for 2. And you can do it for 1. Just have to cut back a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to get my pan hot. I'm going to push this off to the side. This pan's hot. I'm going to put a little bit of butter.
Okay, this is the one for your
for the spinach.
Okay.
Okay. Put a little bit of butter.
I'll take care of rolling that around for you.
Okay, that's approximately 1.5 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
As soon as that gets hot, we'll put the spinach right into that. Okay. Now, while that's starting to melt, I'm going to take my eggs and crack them right in here. About 3 eggs are fine.
Okay, now we're using an egg dip, which is different than an egg wash that you at home have seen us use. We have used egg wash in the past for whenever we're going to show you a breaded and fried item. Today, we're going to show you a sauteed item that uses an egg dip, and all that is we're going to take the flounder fillet and dredge it in flour it on both sides, and then shake off the excess, and it's going to be dipped into beaten egg. And the reason for that.
Okay, well what it's going to do, it's going to coat it, and it's going to seal the flounder and give it a nice. It's going to give it a nice golden brown, but it's going to be nice and moist on the inside. Okay, now while this is sauteing, how about if I throw?
Is that going to help? Not to interrupt with you, but is that going to help hold that whole flounder fillet?
Oh, it's going to hold it together. Oh yeah, it's going to hold it together.
Because I know a lot of people when they're asking me, can we use this method or that method? Can you use fish? And the one menu item that you did for us, we did it in chicken, but we also said that can be done with fish. I'm sure people are a little leery of just flouring fillets of flounder, although it is done.
If you just take a flounder and dredge it in your flour
right.
and saute it, it's going to break a little bit apart. But if you take an egg And the egg, it's almost like with scrambled eggs, they get harder.
Okay.
It'll seal it and it'll keep it together.
And that's what you're going to show
That's
us
what I'm
today.
gonna show you.
Now, are we going to season this at all?
You can season it with a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
And a little bit of nutmeg.
All right. Now we're using just ground nutmeg.
Right. So a little bit of ground nutmeg.
A little bit of that goes a long way, right?
Yeah, just a
And now I'm
pinch of
going to
that.
cover that.
Right.
Okay.
Cover that.
See, I have to make sure I'm doing everything the way he wants it because these are his dishes.
Okay. And then we're going to get our other pan hot.
Okay, this one is hot.
And we're going to put
ready.
our oil in there.
Okay, again, we're using oil this time instead of butter because we don't want the butter to burn. The problem with using butter alone is that it will burn long before we were to get this flounder to cook all the way.
Exactly.
Okay, now I'm going to roll that around.
Okay.
If you ever hear that in the pan, it's usually a little bit of moisture. It can be left in the pan or it can be a little bit of moisture in the oil or the container itself. Wait till that stops crackling and then one quick way to make sure that we're ready, especially when you're working with fish, is to drop a little bit in there. And if it sizzles away like this has, then you know you're all set. Okay, so now you're going to take care of the flounder fillets.
Okay, right. And we're going to make sure that this is really whipped really well, your eggs. And then you're going to take your flounder, dredge it right into your egg.
Now, is there a problem if we were to break these into four? That it doesn't matter, right?
No, it doesn't matter, but it holds together really nice for the dish.
Okay.
Just make sure it's coated. And I'm going to take that and right in.
All right.
Okay.
And it doesn't matter what side of the flounder we start with since you've got it already in the egg.
Right.
So if you're going to try a flounder dish, this is a great one to try because a lot of the things are very easy. We don't have to, it's not going to be one of those that if you make a mistake, you're going to ruin the dish. All we have to do is get that started and we're all set.
Okay, and then you're going to saute that for approximately 2 minutes on one side and then 2 minutes on the other.
Okay, now, if you're going to do it by time, you can also do it by the color and the texture of the fish. And what we'll do today for the folks at home is we're going to break a little piece of this so that they can see when the fish is done.
Okay.
Now, we're not going to shake this one over today, right? We're going to use a spatula to turn it.
Yeah, we're going to let it brown a little bit.
Okay.
And then we're just going to take a look at this spinach in here.
All right, now just give us a second at home so we can get a close-up of that, how that looks.
It's nice and green.
You're getting an awful lot of water. We didn't put any water in there.
No.
So that's from our fresh spinach.
And a little bit of the mushrooms. You'll get a little bit of moisture out of that. And that's just about a little bit more, about another couple minutes more. I'd say about even a minute. And that's just about going to be done.
We're going to leave the cover off of that?
You can leave it off for now.
All right. Keep an eye on that one.
Okay. And we'll just take a look at this. This is pretty. This is cooking pretty fast.
Give you the handle there, and you're all set.
The best way to do is take your frying pan like this, swish it around, and you'll see it clear the pan.
If you'd let us get a close-up of that, and then you show us again so that we can see what you're doing with the flounder in the pan.
Okay. Make sure that your pan is hot. Make sure that you add the oil, because if you add the flounder to a cold pan, it's going to stick. It has to be hot.
So one of the secrets is to make sure the pan and the oil is hot.
It's hot before you add it.
Because this isn't a fancy pan.
Exactly.
This is just a plain saute pan.
Yeah, like a Silverstone pan or a Teflon pan.
They're even better. All right.
And then we're going to take it and flip it on one side.
See how I'm not moving? I trust you.
And flip it on the other.
Okay, now that has a nice bit of color to it.
Okay.
It's got a little bit of golden brown edge to it, and the yellow is looking really good there.
Right. Now, if there is, when this browns on one, you can shut this off. When this browns, okay, on one side and browns on the other, if there's any excess grease in the bottom of the pan, which we have, you can take your fish out, put it on a plate, dump your grease in and put it back in.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll do that in a couple minutes, as soon as that seals on one side and seals on the other.
Now this cooks even quicker than chicken. So
real quick.
If you're looking for a dish that's going to cut your time, and this is a dish that can also cut your cholesterol, we're using an olive oil today. And if you get the hang of sauteing fish, you can do it without the egg, then you can cut a lot of the fat from your diet.
Exactly.
This is another way, just by taking off the fat that you used.
Right. We're going to take that oil.
Right. Now, you don't need this pan so hot now.
No, it can be low.
All right.
And then we're going to take our flounder.
Okay.
Put it right back in the dish at a low temperature. Okay. And then we are going to take our spinach, okay, that has been sauteed over here.
Get your handle out of your way now. And I'm going to take this plate away.
Okay.
You're all set. Because this is going to stay in the oven, the pan for a while.
Yeah, because we're going to melt the cheese across the top.
Now this is a dish you could set up ahead of time and oven it off. That's correct. And if
Right.
you wanted, if you were having a party of 8 or more at home, you could line these up on a cookie tray after you were to saute them all off and line them up on a cookie tray, and then put the Rockafeller tops on them.
That's the way we do it at the restaurant because of the restaurant being so, you know, if we have a party or a banquet and you have to do so many, that's the way we'll do
And
these.
you have to get them all out at the same time,
Right.
so you want to get them prepared. So at home, if you're going to prepare this dish, even though this is a small quantity, Flounder does make a very nice party entree.
Right.
So set them up like this after you've sauteed them, put them on a very lightly greased or pan-sprayed cookie tray, and then you put your sauteed spinach topping on there.
Okay.
Okay, now what's next?
Now we're going to add the sharp cheese or the cheddar cheese. We're going to just take some nice thin slices like this.
All right.
And now you can buy it sliced if you want to buy it sliced, or you can slice it yourself like this.
So it's not real important whether it were to be shredded or sliced. Or...
No, shredded is fine. You can use the shredded.
Okay.
And
Now the type of cheese, we're using a cheddar today. Is that real important, or can we change that around? Or
Well,
mix it up,
I've used it with mozzarella, but I think the cheddar gives it a nice bite to it. So you can use your own, but I think that the sharp is probably better, or cheddar.
Since we're dealing with a fish that is very light in its own flavor,
Right.
so you're going to add a little more flavor to that by using the sharper flavored cheese.
And then it just lays
makes
right
sense.
across the top, just like
Okay.
this. And then we're going to put our pan on top of this, turn the heat up just a little bit.
Okay, and this will be covered,
This will be covered,
and then we're going to leave it.
and we're going to leave it. It's going to melt the cheese right over top.
All right, so since we're going to cover this and you're not going to see it, I'd like to remind you folks at home that especially today, since we have a guest cooking for us, it's always nice to have somebody else do the work. Some of the things you see here you may want a copy of, so send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to What's Cooking, care of Channel 15, PTHS number 2, and we're on Arnie's Mount Road in Pemberton, New Jersey, and our zip code is 08068.
Laughter should be the sound of childhood. Unfortunately, for thousands of children across the nation, the laughter is silenced by abuse and neglect. In New Jersey, you can help dry an abused and neglected child's tears by supporting the Children's Trust Fund. All you have to do is check line 39C of your state income tax return. For more information in New Jersey, call 609-633-3992.
The floral arrangements seen on the set of What's Cooking are provided by the Cranberry Blossom Floral Company, 120 Hanover Street in Pemberton, New Jersey. The Cranberry Blossom Floral Company specializes in flowers for all occasions, including those special designs for parties and weddings. That's the Cranberry Blossom Floral Company, your FTD florist in Pemberton, New Jersey. Call area 609-894-8080.
Welcome back to the second half of our show here at What's Cooking. And I'd like to reintroduce Chef Guy Mitchell, who is going to prepare for us the second half of our menu, which is going to be the delectable dessert, which we're going to hold till the end. But our first part is going to be the classical glazed carrot dish. And for you folks at home, what you'll need for this are carrots, and we're going to show you how you can make this classical dish without buying Belgian carrots. You're going to just use regular carrots. And you'll need butter, brown sugar, white wine, parsley, salt, and pepper. And what we're going to do with those is we're going to melt down the butter and saute the cut carrots and the brown sugar together. Then we're going to add some white wine and the seasonings, and we're going to stir and flip fry it till they're all coated. So what do we want to do first? I think that we should show the folks at home how you get the carrots ready to go, and just what we do commercially when we're preparing carrots.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to, really the quick way of peeling a carrot. Just hold the carrot this way and take your shredder or your peeler and right down like that. Everything goes right on the table, right in front of you.
You know, you didn't cut the ends off, so that gives you kind of a handle when you're working at either
Then when
end.
you're done, that's when you cut the handle.
Okay.
Right off, okay? And then you want to take your carrots.
Now, the thing that you're going to show us today that is important is to try to get the carrots to be about the same size, and that's what we're after, because when they're the same size, they're going to cook in the same amount of time.
Okay, we're going to take our carrots and cut them in half like this. And in half like this, okay? And what you want to do, it keeps the carrot from rolling. You want to hold the carrot like this.
Okay.
And about as big as a dime or a penny.
But make them all the same.
Make them all the same, just like this.
Okay, so what we're showing you is that no matter what type of carrot you use, the reason the baby carrots or the Belgium carrots are so popular was because they would all cook in the same amount of time. However, by cutting the carrot in half lengthwise and giving it a slanted cut of all about the same size, they're all going to be very uniform, and that's what we're after. Okay, what are we going to start this pan with? A little bit of butter? I can get that squared away for you while we're all set.
Get your pan hot, and then
Okay,
I'm going
that's
to
what we have.
put approximately 2 tablespoons of butter.
All right, and we've got some brown sugar here.
Right.
You want to pass the butter? I feel like we're at the
Okay.
dinner table here.
All right. How's
All
that?
right, fine. Now you want the butter in there and the brown sugar.
And the brown sugar, you can. That'll
We
keep
can
the butter
start
from
putting
carrots right in.
All right.
All right.
So for our measurements for this, that's about 1.5 tablespoons of the butter and about 1 tablespoon of brown sugar.
Right.
Now you're using brown sugar. The original recipe would have called for white sugar, and you would have to cook this for a long time till you got a syrup from the carrot liquid dissolving the sugar. Now you're using a brown sugar, which is going to caramelize or brown this dish in a hurry.
Right.
It's already making kind of like a syrup in the bottom of the pan. So you're saving us a lot of time and giving us a shortcut on a classical dish just by changing the sugar to a brown sugar.
Now, if you want to, you could use a regular sugar. I'm going to take this and get around. I want to flip this a little bit to get the carrots on the bottom,
Okay.
up on the top. Okay.
Now, if you want to just hold that still and show us at home so we can see, pull that away from the bottom there, that caramelized syrup on the bottom. So it's already got a nice color and it's already got a beautiful texture to it.
Okay.
And we're getting a very nice shiny appearance on the carrots already.
Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of white wine to that.
Okay.
Can turn the flame up a little
That's
bit.
what I'm doing. I'm going to give you a little more fire now.
About 1/4 cup of white wine, and that's it. And we'll
Okay,
put
now
them
you've got
off.
some salt and pepper for that.
A little bit of salt and pepper. Okay. And a little bit of white pepper. And I would let them sit for approximately, because they're sliced really thin, for approximately 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
Depending on how you like them. If you like them a little bit al dente, which is a nice crispy, or if you like them a little softer, you just let them cook a little bit more.
So this is akin to an Oriental style vegetable with the
Right.
way that you've cut them and the quickness that we're going to cook them.
And I'll tell you what else you can do. You can add a yellow squash to this too,
Okay.
and saute it with a little bit of yellow squash and the carrots, and it's good.
But you
too.
wouldn't add that till the end. The yellow squash is very tender.
Right at the end, and then
Okay.
just stir it around just a little bit, and it gives it a little bit of color.
Okay.
This is a real nice vegetable with
that
the
looks good.
flounder that we used in the beginning of the show.
Okay, so we're going to let these carrots cook a little bit.
We can put
You're
a lid
gonna-
over top of them.
All right. He's covering everything today.
Put this back here.
All right, what we're going to show you folks at home now is the recipe for our dessert. And the dessert is called a kiwi flambe. Now, anytime you see a dish that's flambéed, all that means is it's a dish that is flamed. And classically, they're done table side. So this is going to be this is a type of dish that is very nice to prepare for your guests right there. So what you need are the kiwi fruits, and we're going to
Right.
use brandy and cream de cocoa. The brandy is only there for the fire. We're going to use some almonds, some chocolate ice cream, and some butter and brown sugar. Okay? And what we're going to do with that is peel and slice the kiwis. We're going to saute them in butter and sugar, very much like we're doing the carrots.
Exactly.
And then what we're going to do with that is add some of the nuts, and then we're going to add some of the brandy and the cream de cocoa and flame it, which you may not see too well at home, but it will catch fire. And then we're going to pour that over top of chocolate ice cream. So what we have right here, if we can just slow you down for a second, are the kiwis that are peeled, and all you did to peel this kiwi is to just cut the top and bottom off of it, and then you just cut right on down. And we do cantaloupes and any other type of melon or fruit that has that same shape to it, the same way.
Just like that.
Okay, and I'm gonna, after I get done dropping everything here, we're gonna put this butter right in there because I want to get this started for you. And we're gonna start that sugar in there too.
I'm gonna put some almonds, take some almonds. These are whole almonds. Now
You're gonna show us what to do when you have whole almonds or any kind of a whole, even like black pepper. This is a
procedure that we use at the restaurant. And we'll take the pan, small frying pan similar to this, and to smash them, we'll take and use this part here, will be the weight part, and you'll guide the pan this way, and that'll crush the almonds like this, and you'll get a small crushed part of the almond on the bottom, and we'll do that again.
Okay,
and you can
have to do them one at a time?
No, you can put a couple of them at a time like this, about 5 or 6, and just work them, rocking the pan back and forth.
Now these are whole almonds. If you were to buy sliced blanched almonds, they're not brown. And these are only done on the outside. So if we want to brown these, we would throw them in here now, right?
Right.
Because a kiwi is going to cook very, very quickly.
Right. Okay.
Are we going to brown them today?
We'll put them in here and brown them.
Okay, so today we're going to brown them up. And that goes right into the saute pan.
They'll roast just like a roasted almond. It gives a good flavor to it. It's what we call a brunoisette or a hazelnut kind of a flavor.
So you're changing, I can smell it right now, the way they're roasting. It smells really good.
Then I'm going to take the kiwis, I'm going to cut them just like you would cut a banana for some cereal. Slice them down. And we're going to take that and put them right into the sauce that we have over here. Just like this. And down like this, right in. Okay?
Now these only take a moment to warm up, right?
Just a moment, and you don't want to stir them too hard. You want them to stay basically the same way. And we'll put them right in our ice cream.
Okay. Now we're going to put our liquor to this now. If you want to do that part of it, I'll get your ice cream all set up for you.
All right, that's good.
Is that a deal?
Okay.
All right, what we're going to serve this in is a Supreme stand today, and I have to reach under you for the ice cream. All right, but most of the action is going to be taking place right over top of these sauteed kiwis. So you have the white liquor is a cream de cocoa,
right,
and the dark one is a brandy. So keep an eye on the frying pan, folks.
Okay. Just a little bit
of cream de cocoa, right?
Cream de cocoa, and a little bit of brandy.
Okay.
Pull it away, and then add it for safety.
Okay, now that is just ignited, and the flames are very light. They're kind of a blue color. It's usually done in a darkened dining room atmosphere, and that's when you will, the presentation of this dish can really be appreciated. Okay. Now, how long will you cook that?
Well, I'd say just for this, I would say just when you after you add the kiwi in there and then put the brandy on top of it, I say no more than 10 seconds.
Okay, so they're done and I've shut them off?
That's right.
All right.
And I have some nice chocolate ice cream. I like to put it over top of chocolate ice cream, to tell you the truth. And
this has made a very nice sauce there.
Right.
It's a real shiny caramel colored sauce.
I didn't want to go backwards here, going back.
Well, we can just move that out of the way and set up our other dish for presentation.
How about
if you'd like to do that, and then we'll just serve the dessert last.
How about if we do that?
All right, the carrots are ready. They're simmering very nicely. Okay. So you're going to plate up for us our first part of the menu today, and that was you're going to plate them both for us because I know these are going to go. So you're going to need I'll need the other plate also. We're plating up for you the sauteed Flounder Rockafeller. Now that's with the spinach and the cheddar cheese, and that's a sauteed dish that we did at the top of the program. All right, and there's your carrots. They're all set.
See how nice it melted the cheese right across the top?
Okay.
See how nice that is?
You gonna put one on the other plate for me?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, why don't you do that? This
and
way
we'll
we
both
can
have
show.
dinner.
No, that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
This way we don't have to fight over the one plate.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take that.
I see the crews looking too. They love this.
All right, so now you have that plated up, and now you have your carrots. I'll set that down for you so you can get a hold of it.
Okay. And the best thing to do is put the carrots. Oh boy, look at that color.
This is a great color combination. I know most people only have flounder panned and baked in an oven, so when they think of flounder, they think of just this pale looking entree. This looks really great.
Okay.
I'll set that here, and then you
Set
can
that over this way?
fire up your dessert now. Pour that over it, and we're all set.
Okay.
You can do that right where that spoon is if you'd like.
All right.
Okay, there you are.
And then just put the kiwis right over top.
Now this dessert cooks so quick that while your folks are enjoying your entree, you could go into the kitchen and then prepare this, or have these items cut up ahead of time and have that all set to go.
Well, it's always good to cut everything up ahead of time and have it set, because it's real easy to bang these 1, 2, 3 dishes out.
Well, that's the beauty of a sautéed item. It just goes together. Once your items are cut up,
And you have that lovely sauce with that liqueur
it's
right
really
over top.
good. Smell here is driving
Oh.
me crazy. All right, so in front of you, what we have today,
A nice little
I can
garnish
hardly
here.
wait here, is the sautéed flounder Rockafeller, and that's a classical dish with a candied carrot, which didn't take too much time, and we have a sautéed kiwi flambe dessert, which we're going to enjoy very quickly. So what I'd like for you folks at home, we'd like to review these wonderful menus for you, so that if you're taking any of this down, or now that you've seen them, you want to take them down. Remember the flounder Rockafeller, all you needed was flounder fillets, spinach, fresh mushrooms, onions, cheddar cheese. We used an egg dip, flour, some nutmeg on the spinach, and some salt and pepper. And all we did with those was to flour and egg dip the fillets, then we sauteed them till they were brown on both sides. And in another pan, we sauteed off the fresh spinach, mushrooms, some butter and onion sprinkled with nutmeg, and then that was poured over the brown fillets. And then we covered them with cheddar cheese and let that melt, and it's ready to enjoy. Then we did a glazed carrot, and we showed you just by taking regular carrots, butter, brown sugar, a little bit of white wine, parsley, salt, and pepper, and all you had to do with that list of ingredients was to peel the carrots, cut them all the same size, and then melt down the butter, and then we sauteed the cut carrots in the butter and brown sugar. And then we finished that with the white wine and the seasonings, and they were stirred until they were tender. And that only took a couple of minutes. And our last, and certainly not least, is this magnificent dessert, a kiwi flambe. Kiwis are in right now. They're very inexpensive. All you needed was the kiwis, some brandy. We use cream de cocoa also, some almonds, chocolate ice cream, butter, and brown sugar. And we peeled and sliced the kiwis. We sauteed them in butter and brown sugar. Then we added some of the crushed almonds, and it was just delightful. I'd like to thank you for reappearing, and I'm sure that we'll be asking you to give some of your time and
We'll be
pop back in. And don't forget, you folks at home, if you're interested in contacting Chef Guy for functions or demonstrations, that was his phone number. And I'd like to thank all of you folks at home for watching. See you next time.